I remember I was there when I curved and I started at my road Porsche.
I remember I was standing in that cold, now I'm sliding down my Rolls Porsche, sweater than some cocaine. I remember. Hoes used to play me, now they see me want a picture. Yeah, she gave me throat like a scarf. My scarf, I couldn't afford McDonald's, now I forgot how to starve. Bought my sister a car, bought me a house that's gonna have an alarm. Ice on my wrist like I broke my arm. This is from y'all, I might be from Mars. Yeah.
She won't come with me. She ain't gonna run with me. Now I'm breaking down again. I'm breaking down. Blue skies start turning gray when I tell her that I'm fine. Ash on the window pane, can I kiss you on your spine? I watch her walk away, but don't tell me she ain't mine. She ain't mine. She got this little blade and she cuts me when I lie. When I lie.
Of the world, we need good mothers, we need good fathers, we need people with sources of knowledge. Let's make it not cool to be stupid. Let's make it cool to be a good person. I'm tired of it being cool to be a fucking murderer or a shooter or just this irrelevant being. Like, that shit is stupid. Like, the sooner we understand that we need each other, which is the truth, bro, because I wouldn't be who the fuck I was now if I didn't have anyone. Truly. If I didn't have the support from you guys and I didn't have the people that truly believed in me, I would be nothing. And I'm aware of that. And I've gone through my fair share of destruction and pain in the process to get where I've gotten, and I know that anything is possible. And I really just want, at least, if all right, let's say worst thing comes to worst, I fucking die a tragic death or some shit, and I'm not able to see out my dreams, I at least want to know that the kids perceived my message and were able to make something of themselves and able to take my message and use it and turn it into something positive, and to at least have a good life. I at least, if I'm gonna die or ever be a sacrifice, I want to make sure that my life made at least 5 million kids happy, or they found some sort of answers or resolve in my life, regardless of the negative around my name, regardless of the bad things people say to me. I don't give a fuck, because I know my goal in the end, and I know what I want for everyone, and I know what my message is. So I just wanted to say I appreciate and love all of you, and I believe in you all. Do not let your depression make you. Do not let your body define your soul. Let your soul define your body. Your mind is limitless. You are worth more than you could believe. All you have to do is dream, and all you have to do is want to fulfill that dream and have the strength to
I was on my own for the past 2 months. I haven't seen a friend's face.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want to just really quick, just do a quick breakdown. on Xxxtentacion in Gus. I will dip into the song Falling Down a little bit, but I really just want to get into the legacy and the attributing factors of why both artists are so great. And at the end of the day, I know there's this kind of line in the sand where people who appreciate X and the Peep fans that don't like him and don't like his music and really are just sick to their stomach with the idea of the initial release and the added remix that Jahseh actually did while he was still alive, and really became fascinated. I don't know if you guys know this, but Jahseh actually became fascinated with Peep in the last couple of weeks of his life. He was researching Peep. He was watching all of his interviews. He was watching all of his live performances on YouTube. And there's a guy named Shannon Hoon who actually did the same thing with Kurt Cobain. He really didn't like Nirvana, and then he really got into their work, and he started studying Kurt Cobain. He became obsessed with Kurt Cobain, and then he found this newfound glory and appreciation for him, and he actually was giving interviews saying that he thought Kurt was the greatest artist that ever lived. And then he ended up passing away shortly after in the same exact fashion. So not only did he end up becoming completely interested and fascinated with Kurt, he ended up living identical lifestyle shortly after and ended up perishing the same fashion. So when you look at a situation like this, it's not really similar, but it almost is kind of a hip-hop version of this story. A lot of people don't know this, but Jahseh actually did become utterly fascinated with Gus in the last couple months of his life. Now, of course, X has a lot of drama associated with him, just like every other artist. Every other artist in the world has drama, has negativity, has bad news headlines. A lot of people know how to use this as a crutch and actually make it a record-selling stimulant. And it just adds more fuel to the fire of an artist. And what way to make the media think you're a darling when there's drama going on. It really always went hand in hand with entertainment. So whether X is guilty of the allegations or not, whether he was cleared of them or not, it doesn't matter. We're not supposed to look at a singular view of a person. I'm sure you guys all have things in your life that weren't perfect at some point, and I'm sure all the chapters in your individual novels don't all render perfect readings. I know mine don't. I know I've sure made some mistakes that I'm not proud of, and I know that if I could build the Marty McFly time machine, go back and fix everything, I would. But it is what it is. We have to kind of learn from our mistakes and learn from others so that we don't have to make them ourselves. But I want you guys to take a second before you hit the thumbs down button, which you have the right to do. I don't expect everyone to like my comment and to like my content is what I mean. There's always going to be a guy you can't please. I could make a potion that'll bring people back to life, and there will always be some dickhead in the comments like, well, I don't like formulas, and I was never into potions. So you just can't please everybody is what I'm saying. But I want you guys to know, just really quick, I want you to see some of these unparalleled similarities and really the overall similar ink in each stamp that these artists left on the entire industry in a short period of time. Now, if you take a song like Revenge, which really is almost like a trap Nirvana song, I want to get this out the way right now. First of all, I can't think of any artists who look better than Gus and Jahseh. I will say that right now. Gus and X are probably the best looking musicians on the face of the earth that were here. I can't think of two artists who were visually put together more than these two. They had a great look. And I also want to say, let's just get this out the way. There will never, mark my words, ever be another person who could even hold a fucking candle to either of these guys. Whether it came to fashion, their voices, their songwriting, their unparalleled, perfect understanding of melody. Let's highlight that. Let's stop right there. If you take any song off Question Mark or 17, or if you watch any footage from X's Revenge tour, this kid was John Lennon with braids and face tats. His understanding of vocal melody is second to none besides Gus. I can't think of two artists who fucking sound and look better than these two. So if it's not for their fashion sense that was almost identical in this trend-setting, really they could have been poster boys for any kind of clothing catalog. They just had a great look that really they could just wake up right out of bed and do a photo shoot. These guys, I can't tell you enough, really had a raw, incredible, beautiful look. just two beautiful guys. They really are. They both could have made millions in the fashion world, and they both were sweethearts. These guys are so soft-spoken, and they are so honestly just soft and sweet people. And really, if you look in the history of music, it's always the soft-spoken, quiet introverts of the world that have the most brutal devastation and sheer velocity weight to an impact. It's always the kind of quiet guy in the corner who is the loudest in his art form. Kurt was the same way, very soft-spoken, very quiet, very happy. That's one of the most misunderstood elements of Kurt Cobain. He was a very happy person. Obviously, his rise to fame started spiraling out of control when he went from playing these small pubs to filling stadiums overnight. It's a lot for anybody to deal with. If it's one thing I've researched and learned about Kurt, is that Dave Grohl has always said, the drummer and the singer from Foo Fighters has always said that Kurt always wanted to figure out a way how to sell 10 million records without having 10 million fans, but that's impossible. So it's just a lot of pressure for anybody to deal with. But anyways, when you look at the impact of both these guys, and you look at their music, their understanding of melody, the very similar rebirths they both went through with shaving their eyebrows, coloring their hair in similar fashions, they really did go through rebirths during the same timeline. I just always thought it was fascinating that they both shaved their eyebrows, they both had these moments where they had dual color hairstyles, and they both went through these reinventions of their artistry, almost as if they filled up a pool with holy water and really just went under. And when they came up from being submerged, they were brand new musicians with undivided vocal melody, unparalleled songwriting technique, and really just a overwhelming amount of pure stellar vocal performance and cadence and poise. And their musicianship was so well formed, and it really was at the tip of the mountain peak. The fact that they both stopped breathing over tragic, horrible, disgusting, unforeseen circumstances, whether one was an accident or one was just a sheer, disgusting murder that should have never taken place. The fact that X was being so positive towards the final installment of the chapter of his life, it really breaks my heart when I see that Vine video and that IG clip of him just trying to take a couple moments out of his day to really diffuse the beef between Trippie and 6ix9ine. The fact that he was saying, you guys are beautiful artists, you guys have such an incredible voice and such good music, why are you guys just not getting along? Why don't you guys just make a song together? Why don't you guys just be happy and enjoy your life? Why are you fighting? Why are you being poisoned? Why are you bringing this negativity to your fan base? The fact that X was just really trying to put a highlighter on positivity, and whether people think he was doing that because of the drama he had in court, I don't care. The fact that he was doing it is what matters. But man, what a great kid. And when you look at some of the moments from his revenge tour, and you look at the moments of just seeing the music that he was making towards the end of his life, what a great, perfect artist. And same thing with Gus. I just can't think of two guys who went through these periods where they really just had an unmeasurable amount of success. And the fact that X was murdered by these four disgusting, cold-hearted pieces of trash, disgusting, nasty motherfuckers who are filled with rage and jealousy and envy and are fucking animals of our society. The fact that you raised your arms and you fucking opened fire on a kid getting to the better portion of his life, how dare you? How dare you feel like you have the right and that you are privileged to take what doesn't belong to you and to snuff someone out over materialistic items? It makes me sick to my stomach. You nasty motherfuckers. I hope you guys all get fucking raped and fucking knifed in jail. If I could commit a crime right now just to fucking get locked up with you guys and put a shank in your fucking intestines and twist it twice and make a Y, I fucking would. You motherfuckers. I'm sorry, guys, but it just enrages me to see such a beautiful light get forced into the darkness from some fucking scum. They shouldn't have been here to begin with. They should have been fucking inside condoms floating in the toilet to begin with. Fucking trash. But anyways, when you look at all the similarities, at the end of the day, I know people don't stand behind the remix, and I know there's not a lot of fans who hold picket signs embracing the song and really being part of the movement. But you have your right to not like the song. You have your right to not stand behind the remix. But when you look at that skit midway through and you hear X speaking from his heart about saying, man, I wish I just knew him sooner. I wish I just knew more stuff about him. He's so much like me. I really just didn't know how great this guy was. When you hear a statement like that, and you hear that in that song, that is such an incredible, powerful moment and such a special bond between two people who are no longer here, between two people who fell victim to circumstances that should have never taken place in a million fucking years. It's a special moment, guys. And the fact that that song went platinum, the fact that the impact of that song release was like a Mack truck slamming into a brick wall at 100 miles an hour, the devastation is undeniable. The impact is sheer. We must embrace these artists. Let's light a candle and say a prayer to Jase and Gus.
God, fade your sin. God, boy, quit, tear me impatient.
Also, look, that's scary, bro. Bro, once you learn how to use your vocal range, you can do some crazy shit.
Yeah, I don't know how to finesse it.
Wanna play it?
I remember when you used to hold my hand. Now you're acting like a ghost girl. Live forever with a smile stuck on your face. You think you know you, but I know you're the most, girl. You will never find another one just like me. Long nights getting high on the coast, girl. 2 weeks and I still got the same old jeans on. Never got a girl when I need one. Yeah, I see your face when I look out the window. Yeah, I think about her every time a sniff blows.